Welcome back to The Behavior Code. I'm Maria.
And I'm Gabriel, and today we want to talk about something a little different. Something that everyone experiences, but almost no one talks about.
Yeah, we want to talk about the part of your life that nobody else sees, the part that happens entirely between your ears, your inner life.
Exactly. The constant narration, the thoughts you have that you would never, ever say out loud. The committee meeting in your head that's always in session.
Oh, the committee. Yes. And it's not always a friendly one, is it? It's where you live with those feelings of, am I behind? Am I doing this right? It's where you feel confused or overwhelmed.
And that committee, it has subcommittees, right? There's the subcommittee for replaying embarrassing moments, the subcommittee for worrying about the future, and the subcommittee for harsh self-criticism. And it's where you're constantly comparing your life, your progress, to some invisible standard or to other people's highlight reels.
It's just this whole world that you carry around with you, and it can be a really heavy and sometimes lonely place to be.
Right? So that's our focus today. This episode is about the emotional life we all live but never explain. We're going to try and, explain it. And the loneliness is the really strange part, isn't it? Because you're never actually alone in there. You've got a whole cast of characters.
Let's do it.
So, to start, I think one of the biggest truths about being human is that we live more in our heads than we do in reality.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You have a 5-minute conversation with someone,
Yeah?
and you spend the next 3 hours or 3 days replaying it, overthinking it. Did I say the right thing? Was that weird? What did they really mean by that look? The actual event is tiny compared to the mental space it takes up.
It's so true, or even better, the imaginary arguments.
Oh my gosh, yes. The ones you have in the shower where you're so witty and you say all the perfect things you wish you'd said in real life.
You always win those arguments. You're a rhetorical genius in the shower. But that's my point. That's all happening in your inner world. You're spending emotional energy on something that it isn't real. It never even happened.
It's the same with replaying past mistakes, isn't it? That thing you said in 10th grade that still makes you cringe at 2 in the morning.
Right? It's like your brain has a little movie theater that only plays your greatest failures on a loop.
And while you're in that movie theater, you're also scrolling through your phone, comparing yourself to everyone else. You see their promotions, their vacations, their happy-looking families, and your inner world just starts spinning.
Yes, the comparison. And it feeds this fundamental, very quiet, very private feeling that I think almost everyone has.
Which is...
The feeling that everyone else has figured life out, and you're the only one who's still trying to find the instruction manual.
Yeah, you feel like you're pretending and you're just waiting for someone to call you out, like you missed a key lesson that everyone else got.
It's the core of imposter syndrome, really. But it's all part of this vast, complicated landscape inside our own minds. And living there day in and day out, it's exhausting.
Which is a perfect segue because I think that exhaustion is something we need to unpack. It's not the normal, I need more sleep kind of tired.
No, it's an emotional exhaustion. It's a soul tired. You can sleep for 10 hours and wake up feeling just as drained because the fatigue isn't physical.
Right. Your body might be rested, but your mind has been running a marathon. All that overthinking, all that worrying that we just talked about.
And it's fueled by so many things, like decision fatigue. It sounds like a small thing, but think about how many choices you make in a day. From what to wear, to what to eat, to how to respond to an email.
To what to watch on a streaming service with 10,000 options. Yes, each choice is like a little drop of mental energy being spent, and by the end of the day, the tank is empty.
And then you add the big stuff on top of it. You add the constant stream of social media comparison, which we mentioned. It's not just seeing people's successes, it's the feeling that you're somehow failing because your life doesn't look like that.
There's just so much pressure, and external pressure to succeed, to have a great career, to make money.
and an internal pressure, too. But there's also this other, more subtle pressure, the pressure to be happy.
Oh, that's a big one. The idea that if you're not feeling joyful and grateful every moment of every day, you're doing something wrong. It's like we've forgotten that it's okay to just be okay, or even to be sad sometimes.
Exactly. It makes negative emotions feel like a personal failure, which just adds another layer of emotional weight.
And all of this culminates in that one nagging, persistent thought that I think is the anthem of modern emotional exhaustion.
Let me guess. I should be doing more.
That's the one. You could have had the most productive day, but at 10 p.m., you're thinking, I should have gone to the gym, or I should have read a book instead of watching TV. There's no room for rest because the shoulds are always there.
It's a recipe for burnout, not just work burnout, but life burnout. And, this inner turmoil, this exhaustion, it can create a profound sense of loneliness, even when you're not technically alone.
That's one of the great paradoxes of modern life, isn't it? You can be in a crowded room or have hundreds of friends online and still feel completely and utterly alone.
Right, because that inner world we're talking about feels inaccessible to others. If no one sees it, how can anyone connect with the real you?
And it's made harder by the fact that adult friendships are, well, they're hard. They take so much intentional effort.
They really are. When you're a kid, friendship is based on proximity. You're in the same class, you live on the same street. As an adult, it's based on scheduling.
Yes. Are you free 3 Tuesdays from now at 7:45 p.m. for 1 hour? It's tough because everyone is just so busy. Everyone is trying to build their own life, manage their own career, maybe their own family.
And what gets lost in that is community. That sense of just being around people, of spontaneous connection. It feels like it's disappearing. We're more connected digitally, but more disconnected physically and emotionally.
Totally. I mean, think about our conversations. People talk all day long. We send texts, emails, Slack messages, we comment on posts. It's a constant stream of communication.
Constant.
But how often do we really talk deeply? How often do we get past the "how was your weekend" and into the "how are you, really?"
So rarely. Because it requires vulnerability. It requires time and energy that, as we've established, everyone is short on.
So we end up performing a little bit. We present the version of ourselves that's doing fine, that's handling it all. And everyone else does the same, and we all end up feeling alone, together. And this loneliness, this constant mental churn, it's a breeding ground for overthinking and anxiety.
Oh, absolutely. The inner world becomes a hamster wheel. You're not just thinking, you're spinning. You're overthinking the future, playing out 1,000 different worst-case scenarios for things that haven't happened yet.
And when you're not doing that, you're spinning backwards, buried in regret about the past, replaying those mistakes, wondering what if about choices you made years ago.
It's like your mind is stuck in two places you can't control, a future that doesn't exist and a past you can't change. The only place you're not is here, in the present.
And it creates this incredible fear of making the wrong decision. Because you've seen how much it hurts to regret something, you become terrified of making another choice that you'll regret later. So you just get stuck. Analysis paralysis.
Yeah, it feels like every choice is monumental. Every path you take closes off a dozen others.
And it makes life feel like this frantic race. You're running, trying to get ahead, trying to make the right moves.
But no one knows where the finish line is, or even what the prize is. You're just running because everyone else is running, and it feels like if you stop, you'll be left behind forever.
And at the same time, while you're in this race, there's this weird paradox where you also have the feeling that time is moving too fast.
Yes, the years are starting to blend together. You blink and another month is gone. You're so busy trying to plan for the future and analyze the past that you're not actually experiencing the present, and it just slips through your fingers.
It's an incredibly stressful way to live, constantly pulled in every direction but the one you're actually in.
And I think all of this, the overthinking, the anxiety, the exhaustion, it naturally leads to these huge, scary questions about identity, about feeling lost.
Definitely, because if you're so busy just trying to keep your head above water, you don't have the space to ask, wait, what do I actually want?
Right. Not what you should want, or what your parents wanted for you, or what your friends are doing, but what do you, at your core, truly want out of this one life?
And it's a terrifying question because a lot of the time the answer is, I don't know. Or the answer you had when you were 20 is totally different from the answer you have now. And that's okay, but it feels destabilizing. Your goals change.
Mm-hmm. And while you're in that uncertain place, you're watching other people who seem to have such a clear path. They're hitting all the milestones. They're getting married, buying a house, climbing the career ladder.
And even if you know logically that you don't even want those specific things, a part of your brain still whispers, why aren't you doing that? You're falling behind. It triggers that deep internal panic.
And it leads to the ultimate existential question that haunts our inner lives. Am I wasting my life?
Ugh, it's such a heavy question because there's no right answer. It's just you alone in your head trying to figure out who you are, what you're supposed to be doing. It is the definition of feeling lost.
And I think we need to normalize that feeling. Trying to figure out who you are isn't a phase you go through in your 20s. It's a lifelong process. You're always becoming.
Okay, so we've painted a pretty bleak picture of this inner world.
Laughs. A little bit, yeah.
So let's pivot. Let's talk about the antidote. If all that external pressure and internal chaos isn't the answer, what actually makes a good life? When you quiet all that noise down, what really matters?
Well, all the research and, frankly, all of human wisdom points to a few key things. And it starts with relationships, real, genuine connection with other people. Not followers, not contacts, but people you can be your true self with.
And meaningful work, which doesn't have to be your job. It can be a hobby, volunteering, raising a family. It's just having something to do that feels like it contributes to something bigger than yourself.
Right. It's about purpose. And alongside that, a calm mind. Or at least a calmer mind. Finding ways to step off that hamster wheel of anxiety, whether that's through meditation or nature or exercise.
And the simple stuff, health, taking care of your body, which is inextricably linked to taking care of your mind, getting enough sleep, moving around.
And freedom, which I think means having some degree of control over your life and your time. It's not about being rich, it's about having options and not feeling trapped.
These are the things, right? Relationships, purpose, peace, health, freedom. You notice what's not on that list?
A specific job title, a certain number in your bank account, a perfect-looking life on Instagram.
Exactly. The most important part of building a good life, a good inner life, is getting to a place where you are not comparing your timeline to anyone else's. It's running your own race on your own course at your own pace.
So, as we bring this to a close, I think the most important takeaway from all of this is a message of reassurance.
Mm-hmm.
The big secret of adulthood, of being human, is that everyone is more lost than they look. That polished exterior you see on other people? It's a performance. Inside, they have the same messy, confusing, wonderful, and terrifying inner life that you do.
Exactly. Everyone is figuring it out as they go. We're all just making it up, hoping for the best.
Nobody really knows what they're doing. And the moment you accept that, a huge weight lifts. The pressure to have it all figured out just dissolves.
Life becomes less about having all the answers and more about building a life you actually enjoy living in day by day. It's about finding small moments of peace and connection in the midst of the chaos.
So, if you're listening to this and any of it resonated, please know this: you are not behind.
And you are not the only one who feels this way. Not by a long shot.
The most compassionate thing you can do is be kind to yourself, and remember that everyone you meet is living a life you know nothing about, including their inner life.
Thanks for listening to The Behavior Code.